The last time we spoke about the crisis in the Red Sea, the UK and the US had launched their first strikes on Yemen in order to deter attacks on Israeli ships. These strikes made UK Prime Minister Rishi Sunak the 9th Prime Minister to bomb Yemen in 100 years. With limited financial capabilities, the Houthis have managed to impose an effective naval blockade on Israel, preventing any Israeli-affiliated ships from passing through the Bab el-Mandeb Strait. And the attacks are perhaps the first time really in human history where a naval blockade has been imposed without the use of a navy. At the time of the first Western strikes in Yemen, voices in the UK and the US spoke about the attacks being limited and precise, aimed at dismantling Yemeni capabilities to maintain the choke on the Bab el-Mandeb Strait. Rishi Sunak used the words limited and single. However, since then, the US has continued striking Yemen, now on over 5 separate occasions.
Yemen working. Well, when you say working, are they stopping the Houthis? No. Are they going to continue? Yes.
Not quite the singular strike that was once anticipated. When asked whether this had become a war yet though, Pentagon spokesperson Sabrina Singh said that it had not, and that the US was not seeking one. One might reasonably ask how the US can strike 5 times a country that it does not seek to go to war with. The prospect though for limited strikes against the Yemeni group was always going to be difficult. Yemen have been enduring airstrikes for nearly a decade, which provides much experience in dealing with placing military assets such that they cannot be dismantled in isolated air raids. It is also the case that Houthi strikes on Israeli ships do not necessarily need to be successful. They only need to create enough uncertainty to dissuade commercial ships from braving the journey through the Red Sea. Because of these difficulties, the Washington Post has reported that American officials are now preparing for a prolonged campaign in order to lift the naval blockade on Israel. Within this context, the US State Department last week released a statement expressing its intention to designate the Houthis as a terrorist organization, a decision to become active after a month. Citing the strikes in the Red Sea as the reason for this designation, the statement also mentions that if the Houthis cease their attacks in the Red Sea and Gulf of Aden, the United States will reevaluate this designation. This sentence, though, implies that the designation could potentially be an attempt to ward the Houthis from attacking in the Red Sea. In response, though, the Yemeni parliament released a statement saying that the US and the UK and Israel should be placed top of the global terrorism list. It was an ironic response to the United States designation, but implies that the Yemenis do not appear to be preparing to back down on their stance in the Red Sea. Onlookers wonder whether the US is really prepared to go to war in Yemen and continue risking a wider regional war just to allow Israel to continue its assaults on the Gaza Strip. If you like our work and you're a fan of everything that we are doing with regards to the news reporting, then do click the subscribe button down below and share our channel with your friends and your family.